Sure.
A little bit. Macaroni and bricks. Heavy. Wow.
I know how much
Yes.
3:33, but I wanted to put a post-it up before we get to that. But it's not 3:32 isn't right before it, is it?
I think it's 3:30, right. There's a skipping page. So the last thing she's going to read
Is
is
on the
this,
Shabbat day.
3:30.
Okay.
And then they come up for 3:32.
Okay, all right, then I just need to move up one page. Okay.
Yeah, started on.
Lauren. Lauren. Where?
Just let her know. Is she left-handed or right-handed?
She's right.
There'll be 2 cups of ice water right
Perfect.
inside here over
Okay.
there for her.
Okay, great.
The other 2 over here will be like Don and Kim.
Okay.
All right.
You make me cry.
Okay, so I'm gonna put the brown paper between, so
Really?
Sure.
you're gonna put yours there, I'm gonna put mine here. Okay.
Sure.
Just don't hide.
It's right there.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good morning. Those of you who are guests, welcome to Temple Rodeph Torah. First thing I'd like to ask of all of you is please take out your cell phones and don't turn them off. Really. If you have your cell phone with you, take it out. Don't turn it off. You're looking at me like, what? Got it? Okay, please think of someone you love who isn't here with you today. If they're Jewish, send them a text message saying Shabbat Shalom, thinking of you. If they're not Jewish, send them a message saying, thinking of you, have a great day. And then you can turn the phones on silent before they answer back. We've got these devices. Let's use them to stay in touch with people we love. So think of someone, and don't text someone else who's in the room. It's not that funny. Send a message to someone. If you need to send more than one, that's okay too. Shabbat is a time of gratitude. We spend so much of our week running to do more, to get more, to have more, to be more. Shabbat comes along and says, wait. Stop running for a while. Stop doing for a while. Just enjoy being. It was taught years ago that we're not called human doings. We're called human beings. And sometimes the only way to remember that we're human is to stop doing things for a while and just to enjoy being. Now, we listen to so many people, so many commercials, so many people giving advice who tell us that we will not be happy until we buy their product, until we use their service, until we do things exactly the way they say, and they are all wrong. We will be happy as soon as we realize how blessed we are right now. So before we get into prayers that were written a long time ago, we need to start by thinking about what we are grateful for today. What are we blessed with right now in our lives? Not something that's going to happen, but something that is in our lives. And this is a time in the service when bragging is completely allowed, and we don't actually start the service until we have a really nice list of blessings. So consider it a community service when you join in. So what are your blessings today? Who wants to start? Yes? Family. So do you love your family? They love you? Cool. So I'm going to teach everybody a phrase. I'll ask you to repeat after me. Could you please say modim? Anachnu. Lach. And those words mean we thank you. Love the outfit. Really cool. Definitely set to the occasion. It's before Labor Day, so you're still good. Still white. Modim anachnu lach means we thank you. So if you are blessed with loving family, join with me. Modim anachnu lach. Thank you. Other blessings. Not the same one, but others. Sir. Shelter. There's one of the students who's been around here for a while. Something we always take for granted. I'm guessing, even though I don't know most of you, that you live in a place where you can be dry when it's wet outside. You can be warm when it's cold outside. You can even be cool when it's warm outside. That's a blessing that most of humanity does not have. If you are blessed with safe and comfortable shelter, join with me. Modim anachnu la. Thank you. Let's get others. Other blessings. Yes?
Everybody woke up happy in my house today.
Well, okay, now we're into the realm of miracles. I'm sorry. We cannot depend on miracles. Okay, so you know what? If I love it. I love it. If you were able to wake up and see the people around you with smiles on their faces instead of kvetching, not everyone may be able to. Join with me. Modim anachnu lach. Thank you. Others. Other blessings in your lives. Yes, sir. What'd you say? Food. Good for you. I really like that you said that because it's also something that we take for granted. And I'd like you to think about something. Can you imagine walking into your favorite supermarket? You generally walk into the produce aisle, right? That's where they drop you right away. Can you picture the produce aisle? Okay. Do you realize that well over half the people on earth would fall to their knees in tears if they saw that much food in one place at one time? They've never even seen that. And for us, it's just, what am I going to get? The green peppers, whatever. We are so fortunate to have food security. We know where our next meal is coming from. If you are blessed with food security, join with me. Modim anachnu la. Good, let's get some others. Yes. Health. Kanahara. Yes. If you are blessed, and I always say this, I think that people appreciate health more when they've not had it at some point, and then suddenly you go, my grandma was right when she said, as long as you have your health. So if you are blessed with health, join with me. Modim anachnu la. Good. Others? Sir? Clothing? Yeah. I'm guessing that the biggest decision any of us had to make this morning about clothing was, do I want to wear that or that or that or that? Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. For many people on this planet, it's where will I find enough to keep warm, to keep safe? Again, we are so blessed with just what we have. If your biggest clothing decision is which outfit am I going to wear, join with me. Modim anachnu la. Good. You already did one. I'm going to get some other people to be brave. So let's, come on, relative. We really don't go on until you do it, so you might as well. So, you have no other blessings in your lives. I don't believe it. Just don't believe it. Yes. Family was first. So thank you. That's really cool. We got that one right away. Someone said, celebrations. Anyone here have a celebration coming up like today? Now? Right? If you're blessed with joy in your life, join with me. Modim anachnu la. Good. And let's get Zohar.
Sunshine.
Sunshine. I'm going to add to that. Sunshine and not 98 degrees. Both good. Both really. We have a gorgeous day. If you can look outside today and see the clouds that were drifting away as you got up, as you came here, and the blue sky was coming out, if you were able to just enjoy the beauty of God's creation, join with me. Modim anachnu la. So you see, when I asked you this, do you know that everybody in the room started smiling? And yet you didn't buy a single thing while you were here. You didn't use a different toothpaste. You didn't change your brand of car. All we did was to list our own blessings. And that's what Shabbat is for. Shabbat is a time to stop worrying about what someone else has and to appreciate the gifts we have in our lives. And I find that when I think of those blessings, it makes the words of the prayers come so easily because I want to say thank you. It just comes naturally to say thank you. So as we go through the service today, I hope that you will think of all the blessings you have in your life. Now, we Jews have a tradition that when we wake up in the morning, we say a very simple blessing, which says, thank you, God, for giving me today to be alive. I woke up alive today, and that's pretty good. The words to Modeh Ani are at the bottom of page 288. Men say Modeh Ani, women say Moda Ani, and both of them mean, I thank you. As you learn the melody, please join with us.
We begin with a nigun, the melody without words. Yai lai, yai lai, 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 lai. Yai lai, yai lai, 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 lai. Yai lai, 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 lai. Yai lai, 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 ya la lai, lai. Try it with me. Yai lai, 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 lai. Yai lai, 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 lai. Yai lai, 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 lai. Yai lai, 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 ya la lai, lai. Modeh ani, moda ani lefanecha. Melech chai v'kayam, moda ani lefanecha, melech chai v'kayam. שחזרת בי נשמתי בחמלה, שחזרת בי נשמתי בחמלה, שחזרת בי נשמתי בחמלה. רבה אמונתך, יא לי לי, יא לי, יא לי 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 לי, יא לי, יא לי 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 לי. Yai lai, yai lai, 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 lai. Yai lai, 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 yai lai, lai, lai.
And I like that one of you pointed out that celebrations are one of the things we have to be grateful for today. And now that we're all here at this celebration, we have a job. Our job this morning is to become a congregation. And a congregation is very different from an audience. An audience is a group of people that comes to watch a performance. We sit quietly and politely while someone performs for us. A congregation is completely different. A congregation is a group of people that comes together from many different backgrounds, many different traditions, and joins together to become one voice praising God. Now, for us to be a congregation this morning, we need to participate in this service and not watch it. So I call your attention to our prayer book, which everything we do in Hebrew is also in transliteration and also in English. So in every case, you can find out what we're doing and where we're doing it. And we hope that you will read and sing along with us today. Now, I know that many of you came here today to hear Lauren, but I'd like to remind you that she came here today to hear you, because she has been training for years to lead a holy congregation in prayer. And the only way she can succeed at this sacred task is for us to become that congregation today. So if at any point you're tempted to say, shh, we want to hear her, don't do that. Instead, poke the person next to you and go, louder, she wants to hear us. Because I will tell you very honestly, if you're all silent, it's pretty terrifying to be up here. First of all, we wonder if you're still alive. Second, it's like speaking into a big, empty chasm, and it's really weird. But when we join together in prayer and song and celebration, it creates a beautiful sound, and it fills the room with gratitude and with love. And we hope that you will join with us. If anyone is having difficulty hearing me, please speak to one of our ushers and request a hearing assist device. We'd be happy to loan it to you during the service. It's hard to participate if you can't hear clearly. So we hope as we go through the service that each of us will have such a long list of blessings that we won't even get to the end of the list by the end of the service. We turn now to page 293. As Lauren leads us in Nisim B'chol Yom, our thanks to God for miracles that happen every single day. Lauren will sing them responsively in Hebrew and English, and as you learn the tune, please join with her.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan l'sech v'bnai lahavhein ben yom u'ben laila. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who opens the eyes of the blind. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who lifts up the fallen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam rokah haaretz al hamayim. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who strengthens our steps. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish arumim. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who gives strength to the weary. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavir shina ma'anai u'tunuma me'af apai. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who made me in the image of God. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shasani bat horim. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who has made me a Jew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ozer Yisrael b'gvura. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who crowns Israel with splendor.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to engage with words of Torah. We continue on page 312.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון ובימיכון, ובחייך בית ישראל, בגלה, ובזמן קריב, בימי יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי קודשה בריחו, לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירה מעלמה, ויאמרו Amen. We're on page 313. Please rise if you are able.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uvorei hoshe, osei shalom uvorei et hakol, hama'ir la'aretz v'ladarim alecha barachamim, uv tuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid, ma'aseh reshit. Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai kulam b'chachma esita. Mala haaretz kinyanecha, titbarach Adonai Eloheinu, al shavach maas. Thanks for the sages and teachers who bring us understanding of your will. Gratefully we recall the laws and sages of Israel, that from the dawn of Israel's life we would turn to you and find purpose. May the teachings of our ancestors live on in our minds, and their passions for righteousness stir our hearts. Help us to live so that our daily conduct reveals the beauty and wisdom of your truth. Baruch atah Adonai, haboher b'amo Yisrael ahava. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Please be seated. Can I skip the paragraph I wrote? Can I skip the paragraph I wrote? I don't like it. It's just the paragraph I wrote. Can I skip it? I don't like it. The Shema itself is a reminder to Jews that we are different because we have one God, and to not get sucked into the polytheistic cultures that surrounded every side of civilization. It says, "Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one." When I think of a strong force, I think of multiple people being stronger than one. Yet God is the strongest force there is, and God isn't multiple, only one. On a more personal level, my mom would sing the Shema to me and my sisters every night before bed. She only sang the first verse, though, because my sisters didn't like the second one. I have the most vivid picture in my mind of my mother tucking me in, sitting on the edge of my bed and singing. She would kiss me on the head and leave my dark room, making sure to leave my bedroom door open so I could have the faint light from the bathroom to soothe me. Nowadays, I go to sleep well after my mother, but I can forever see the image I just described to you all in my head, a moment of sheer perfection. By the way, we're on 319. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם שיטתך ובריתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך ויהיו צפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי ואתם קדושים לאלוהיהם. אני אדוני אלוהיהם אשר הוצאתיכם מארץ מצרים להיות להם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיהם. Please turn to page 321. Sing the song of men and women, joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha ne'edar b'kodesh, nora tehillah osei pele, shira chadasha shibuhu geulim, leshem ha'al hayam, yachad kulam hodu, v'himlechu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Rock of Israel, rise in support of Israel, and redeem Judah and Israel as you promised. Our Redeemer, Adonai Tzvaot, is your name. Blessed are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael. Please rise. Adonai sefatek tiftach ufi agitilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, Vekunei Hakol, Bezoher Hasevot V'imaho, Umiviguel Limnehem, Laman Shmo Ba'ahava, Melech Ozer Mashiach Magin. Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Abraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Otam Tavrot Hoshia, Marid Hatzal. Mechalkel Hayim Bechesed, Mechayei Hakol Berakamim Ramim, Somech Noflim Verofei Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Micha Mocha Bagivurot, Umidom Melach, Melech Memid, Umechayei, Umitzmiach Yeshua, V'leman Atal Yotacho, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei Hakol.
We're in the middle of 326. Nekadesh et shimcha ba'olam, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב היד נביאך, וקרא זה זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ, כבודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו, אדיר שמך בכל הארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהייך ציון, לדור ודור, הללויה, לדור לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש, לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. We're in the middle of 328. Please be seated.
V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledoratam berit olam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledoratam berit olam. B'yenu vein B'nei Yisrael, oti leolam, oti leolam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, b'lasot et ha-Shabbat ledoratam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledoratam berit olam. Uveyom hashvihi shavat v'yinafash Shabbat v'yinafash v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledoratam berit olam. The meaning of Shabbat is to celebrate time rather than space. 6 days a week, we live under the tyranny of things of space. On Shabbat, we try to become tuned to holiness and time. It is a day on which we are called upon to share in what is eternal in time, to turn from the results of creation to the mystery of creation, from the world of creation to the creation of the world. Baruch atah Adonai mechadesh haShabbat. On this Shabbat day, as you graciously receive our prayers, help us to hear your call. Grant us enough health to fulfill our duties and the compassion we need to attend to others. Teach us humility that we may perceive our own faults, and grant us the wisdom to be forgiving of others. Give us the courage to be true to our highest selves and the charity to see the best in those around us. Give us patience enough not to become discouraged, hope enough to overcome all fears for the future, and faith enough to know your presence. O source of blessing, look with favor upon us. May our offerings be acceptable to you. Baruch atah Adonai she'odcha levadcha b'yirah. We continue in the middle of page 332. For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imaginations. Modim anachnu lach. For this fragile planet Earth, its times and tides, its sunsets and seasons, Modim anachnu lach. For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements, Modim anachnu lach. For human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression. Modim anachnu lach. For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared. Modim anachnu lach. For all who have labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom. Modim anachnu lach. For human liberties and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose. Modim anachnu lach. We pray that we may live, not by our fears, but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulha ne'eh lahodot. O God, may we never become complacent, faltering in our efforts to build a world of peace. Let the nations know and understand that justice and right are better than dominion and conquest. May all come to see that it is not by might nor by power, but by your Spirit that life prevails. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamvorach et amo Yisrael b'shalom. We now pray silently to page 337. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, v'imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Our rabbis taught the world stands on three things: on study, on prayer, and on deeds of loving kindness. Al Shnosha Devarim Ha'olam Omed. The words to Al Shnosha Devarim are on page 367, second paragraph down from the top. And to join with Lauren, we invite her friends Abby Fuchs, Julia Fuchs, Amanda Feldman, Josh Applebaum, and Braden Schurer.
Someone share.
One, two, ready, and.
Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Ha'olam Omed, Al Shlosha Devarim, Ha'olam Omed, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Ha'olam Omed, Al Shlosha Devarim, Ha'olam Omed, Al HaTorah ve'al Ha'odah ve'al Gemilut Hasadim, Al HaTorah ve'al Ha'odah ve'al Gemilut Hasadim, Al Shlosha Devarim, שלושה דברים העולם עומד, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד, על שלושה דברים.
We continue on page 362 as we begin Seder Kriyat Torah, and we invite Lee Zeltzer and Simon Drazen to come forward to open the ark.
אין כמוך ואלוהים אדוני, ואין כמעשיך. מלכותך מלכות כל העולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום.
Please rise.
אב הרחמים, הציבה בצפונך, את ציון תבנה חומות ירושלים. כי בך לבד בטחנו, מלך העולם ונישא, אדון עולמים. 364. כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים. 366. ברוך שנתן תורה תורה, ברוך שנתן תורה תורה, לעמו ישראל בקדושתו. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. אחד אלוהינו, גדול אדוננו, קדוש שמו. גדלו לאדוני איתי, ונרומם שמו יחדיו. לך אדוני הגדולה, הגיבורה והתפארת, והנצח וההוד. יבוא בשמיים ובארץ, יבוא בשמיים ובארץ. אדוני אמר לך, תמיד נעשה לכל ארץ. רמנו אדוני אלוהינו ונשמענו,
I've been doing this a long time. I have never seen anyone give the Torah a high five before. That was really cool. That was just really super. You made my day already, young man. I love it. We invite the following people to come forward. For Aliyot, Donna Polari, Jillian Zeltzer, Tara Fuchs, Glenn Fuchs, Andrea and Mike. To undress the Torah, Robert Just. To dress the Torah, Rebecca. And to hold the Torah, Anatoly Sender. Who's Robert? Robert? Is that you, sir? You look so happy. No one hurt you or anything, okay? Would you take off the 2 silver crowns? Put them right off and drop them on that wooden table right over there. Right on that blue piece of paper, that's fine. Okay? And would you take off that pointer, that silver pointer, and hand that right to Lauren? Okay, and I'm ask you to pull the whole cover right off from the top. And you know the seat where Lauren was sitting before? Over here? Would you go put it on there? Thank you very much. Please be seated. As is very obvious, we are reading from near the very end of the Torah, because we're coming to Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, Simchat Torah, and at Simchat Torah we complete the cycle and go back and start over at the beginning. So in this portion, Ki Tavo, Moses is speaking to the Israelites as they prepare to head off on the next stage of their journey without him. Now in the beginning it says, when you come into the land of Canaan, the promised land, you're going to think you're done because you made this whole long journey. You're not done. You're just starting. There's so much more to do, so much more you need to be aware of, so much more that Moses says that I hope that you'll keep with you as you go start that new stage of your life. So it's perfectly appropriate that with this portion, Lauren comes to the Torah for the first time as a bat mitzvah. For she has traveled a long way to get here, and yet this is by no means the end. This is just part of the journey, and we pray that she will be blessed as our ancestors were blessed, with years of health and strength for the journey that lies ahead.
Yamdu Saradina bat Naftali ve'ilana bat Moshe le'Aliyah Rishon.
Donna, Jillian?
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
Yakacha Adonai Beshehefet, Uva Karahat, Uva Deliket, Uva Har Hor, Uva Herev, Uva Shidaphon, Uva Yerikon, Or Defuach Ad Abdecha, Vahayu Shemecha Asher Al Roshha Nehoshet, Baharetz Asher Taktacha Barzel, Yatain Adonai Et Mitar, Artzacha Avak Ve'afar, Men Hashemayim, Yerid, Alecha Ad Hashamdecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah temet v'hayei olam nata b'doheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
Can you roll the Torah more towards me? Yeah, can we adjust it so she's gonna, yeah, that's really good.
Yamdu Dodili bat Abraham v'Sara u'Shmuel ben Matatyahu ve'Elka Chava le'Aliyah Sheni.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai
Notain HaTorah.
Amen.
Yetencha Adonai Nagaf Livnei Ivecha B'derech Echad Tzitzi Olav Uv Shiva Derechim Tanus Livnav V'hayita L'za'ava L'hol Mamlechot Haaretz V'hayita Navletcha Lamachol L'chol Uv Hashemayim B'la Durim
You're good.
Uvahamet Haaretz V'in Machrid Yakacha Adonai V'shin Mitzrayim Uva Falim Uva Garav Uva Haras Asher Lo Tehol Laherafeh.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai notein haTorah.
Amen.
Yamdu Moshe ben Alexander Rashin del Aliyah Shlishi.
Baruch Adonai Hamarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamarach
Olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai notein haTorah.
Amen.
Yakacha Adonai Bish Kavanah. Is that the one that changes? No, it's not. Okay. Adonai Bish Gaon Uva Varon Uv Tamahon Lavav V'hayita Mama Shesh Bitz Harim Ka Asher Yama Shesh Ha'aver V'afala Velo Titzliach Et Derhecha V'hayita Ach Ashuk V'gazul Hol Hayamim V'in Moshiach Isa Teres V'ish Echar Yish Kavanah Beat Tavana Velo Teshuv Bo Kerem Tito Velo Tehelanim.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natabeinu. Baruch Atah Adonai notein haTorah.
Amen.
I lost my place. Just wait. Oh, I lost my place.
Tamod lir'on bat Moshe habachura bat hamitzvah chazak chazak v'nitchazek.
Barhu et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'char banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai notein haTorah.
Amen.
Shorcha tevuach la'anecha velo techol ma'menu chamorcha gazul malfanecha velo yeshuv lach sinecha netnot levecha v'in lach Moshiach v'necha uvnotecha netnim la'em echar bayanecha ra'ot v'cholot alehem hol hayom v'in la'el yadecha puri ad metha v'chol yagacha v'chol ashur lo yadata v'hayita rak ashuk varat suits hol hayamim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'hayei olam natan b'toheinu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov,
Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov,
Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov.
Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Olachol Yisrael, Yehelanu, Olachol Yisrael, Yehelanu, Olachol Yisrael, Yehelanu, Olachol Yisrael.
The Eternal will strike you with consumption, fever, and inflammation, with scorching heat and drought, with blight and mildew. They shall hound you until you perish. The skies above your head shall be copper, and the earth under you iron. The earth will make the rain of your land dust, and sand shall drop on you from the sky until you are wiped out. The Eternal will put you to rout before your enemies. You shall march out against them by a single road, but flee from them by many roads. And you shall become a horror to all the kingdoms of the earth. Your carcasses shall become food for all the birds of the sky and all the beasts of the earth, with none to frighten them off. The Eternal will strike you with Egyptian inflammation, with hemorrhoids, boil scars, and itch, from which you shall never recover. The Eternal will strike you with madness, blindness, and dismay. You shall grope at noon as the blind grope in the dark. You shall not prosper in your ventures, but shall be constantly abused and robbed, with none to give help. If you, a man, pay the bride price for a wife, another man shall enjoy her. If you build a house, you shall not live in it. If you plant a vineyard, you shall not harvest it. Your ox shall be slaughtered before your eyes, but you shall not eat it. Your ass shall be seized in front of you, and it shall not be returned to you. Your flock shall be delivered to your enemies, with none to give help. Your sons and daughters shall be delivered to another people while you look on, and your eyes shall strain for them constantly, but you shall be helpless. A people who do not know you shall eat up the produce of your soil and all the gains. You shall be abused and downtrodden continually until you are driven mad by what your eyes behold.
Mike and Andrea, mazel tov to you. It is such a joy and such an honor for us to be able to share in your celebration today in so many ways. I've known you forever. Your question when you came here was, how soon do we become part of this community? How do we raise our children, child/children to come in this Jewish community? And you have done that in every single way. And I have to tell you, I was thinking, just when Lauren started the service and she read one of those morning blessings, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani Yisrael. She thanked God for making her a Jew. And I thought that a lot of the praise goes not to God on this one, but to the two of you. Because you have helped your children, all of them, to know they belong here. And you've done that not by slowing down and kicking them out of the car for carpool, but by bringing them, by coming with them, by letting them see that what we do here is important to you. And I promise you, there is nothing that we can do, no matter how we do it, if we don't have the family saying, what you're doing there is important to us, we want you to be able to learn from this. And you've done it. And I hope that today you see the results of your work. Andrea, you've helped with everything. There's someone that we need a volunteer, ask Andrea. We always say don't ask her too many times because she's doing everything and she'll never say no. And thank you for the work you've done for our youth, the work you've done for our school, the work you've done just by being there, by being part of this. For each of you, you've set an example for your children. And when your children say, She'asani Yisrael, who has made me a Jew, I cannot think of any family that has worked harder or more passionately to make sure their children know exactly who they are. To you, Andrea, I repeat and give you this special thank you for the gift you've given us, the gift of a future for our people. And we could not do it without what you've done in so many ways. So today, as you bring your second child to the Torah, there is more to come.
2020.
Right. We congratulate you, and we invite you to speak your newest bat mitzvah.
I'm gonna drink water first. I'm still in your water.
That's fine, I didn't drink it at all.
All right.
Oh, it was in there. That's not it.
Okay. It's okay. I tried to make it tear-free. As we stand here this morning, I think it is symbolic that your Torah portion is Ki Tavo. Ki Tavo means when you enter the land. I know. Okay. You will soon be a teenager entering a new land, an exciting time of discovery and growth in your life. As a mom, I too am entering a new land. Long gone are the days where I physically hold your hand through new experiences, but always know that I'm here cheering you on, acting as a sounding board, or offering a shoulder to lean on. I personally can't wait to be a spectator to this part of your journey. One of the most interesting parts of being a mom are these many revelations that I have about you or one of your sisters. I spend every day with you, but there are these occasional moments when I'm like, okay, I understand her a little bit more. I had one of these moments a few months ago at Rock Shabbat when Max Kassler was performing. We were singing Noah Aronson's Let There Be Love, and I had this moment of clarity. This temple and being Jewish are your personal Hashkidenu. I find you are the most relaxed and open when you're here. That makes so much sense. This is your Sukkot Shalom, your peaceful shelter. The song reads, let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our peace from life's storm. This community, your family, and friends are not only your shelter, but the cheering section in your biggest game of life. You and I have talked a lot about how much you dislike being in situations where you feel vulnerable. I know you see vulnerability as a sign of weakness, but I challenge you to look at these situations where you feel vulnerable as an opportunity or a choice. It's an opportunity to try something new or build on things you're already doing well, and these are choices you get to make. You operate from a position of strength when you have choice in your life, whether it be physical, intellectual, or emotional. Grab onto these opportunities and embrace them. In my professional life, I've met a lot of business leaders and I've had the chance to listen in while they counsel up and coming executives. This sounds obvious, but if your dreams don't scare you a little bit, your goals aren't high enough. Knowing your future plans for college and career, I don't doubt that you're dreaming big, but make sure you dream big in your personal life too. Expect, even demand, the respect and love that you deserve. These executives also talk about being lucky as a component of being successful. Nothing was handed to them, but they were in the right place at the right time, and most importantly, they were open to the experience or opportunity. This goes back to being vulnerable. You have to be open to these opportunities and experiences when they're presented to you. Don't ever be afraid to try something. You have your family and friends to support you. I told you I would include a little reference to basketball in this speech. In the 1980s, there was a college basketball coach at North Carolina State named Jim Valvano. He was a very successful coach, and at the end of his college coaching career, somewhat controversial. His team won the NCAA tournament in 1983, and he went on to coach for a few more years. But what I find the most interesting and inspirational about this man were a few things he said towards the end of his life while he was battling cancer. His messages were about the importance of hope, love, and persistence. He created the V Foundation for Cancer Research with the motto, don't give up, don't ever give up. I think the most inspirational of his ideas came in a speech at the ESPY Awards. He said, To me, there are 3 things you should do every day. We should do this every day of our lives. Number 1 is laugh. You should laugh every day, and I find such joy when you laugh. Number 2 is to think. You spend some time in thought and thinking about what's going on around you, which I know you do. You spend a lot of time in your head. And number 3 is you should have your emotions move you to tears. Could be happiness or joy. Ours is happiness today. But think about it. If you laugh, you think, and you cry, that's a full day. That's a heck of a day. You do that 7 days a week, you're going to have something special, which I know you do have something special. He died about 2 months after he gave the speech, but 25 years later, he's still having an impact on this world through his ideas and his foundation. These ideas sum up what I want for you in life. I want you to have hope and love in your life. I know you're going to have a huge impact on this world in ways I can't even imagine. I personally can't wait to see what the future holds for you. I love you, and I couldn't be more proud of you today and every day.
Oh, you're going to make me cry.
I tried.
Glass of water here. Lauren Mazel Tov. When I think about the mature, beautiful, intelligent, strong, independent, ambitious, confident young lady you've become, my heart fills with pride. My eyes filled with tears. Looking at how beautiful you look in your dress today, the presence you command in leading the congregation in prayer, I'm just so proud of you. I don't know where the time has gone, but I so much cherish the memories and experiences we have shared throughout your childhood. I wish the time could slow down so I can appreciate them even more. I vividly remember the first time you looked at me with those beautiful blue eyes, and the first time you flashed that wonderful, bubbly smile. You've always had such a fun and quirky personality that's been distinctly and unmistakably you. I also remember the first time, and many times thereafter, that I and the rest of the world experienced that powerfully compelling cry, the one that could be heard from beyond the entrance to, and sometimes even beyond the parking lot to KinderCare. The voice that still defines you and your lookout world, hear me roar persona. You have never been afraid to speak your mind, for better or worse, stand out from the crowd, or dare to be different, not necessarily the most popular. You're a very passionate person and are so amazingly dedicated to things you value in your life. This includes school, sports, family, Judaism, friendships. You are not afraid of a challenge. Whether it's taking many of the harder honors classes at school, the ones that keep you up past midnight doing homework on most weekdays and weekends, but also make you a better student, or working overtime to improve your basketball game, or spending 4 days a week at the max doing physical workouts that most adults couldn't handle. You've been such a dedicated student here at TRT and have worked so hard preparing for this bat mitzvah. I'm really proud of the job you're doing here today. I love that you embrace your Jewish religion, culture, values, and traditions, really without any prodding on my or Imam's part. Your enthusiasm is genuine and genuinely infectious. And I am also so thankful to have found such a wonderful place for you to thrive with such truly great teachers, rabbis, cantor, and longtime friends that have made that possible. I really cherish spending time with you. Especially the time I have spent and continue to spend coaching or watching you compete. Playing basketball or soccer before that, all of the great experiences, the ups and downs, I wouldn't trade for anything in the world. You are a true competitor and have a drive to win that I know will take you very far in life. I've watched you really mature as a person, especially in the past year. Become more assured and confident of yourself, develop socially, and make great friends. You are caring, generous, and giving. You love your family and value your family, particularly your sisters. And of course your mom and dad, your cousins, grandparents, aunts, and uncles. You bring so much joy to all of us, and we are so lucky and thankful to have you in our lives. You are a hardworking, successful student and have incredible ambitions, especially for someone your age. Your mom and I will do our best to support you in your pursuits. Finally, I want to repeat what I told your sister when she was standing here at the Bima. Use your passion to follow your dreams and make your mark in the world. But always maintain the values and traditions of your heritage, which I hope will guide you in your life. Values of family, of community, of living your life with purpose and dignity. The importance of passing on these values to your children and their children and their children's children. Mazel tov, Lauren, I love you.
Go stand next to your mom. Please rise if you're able.
Vezat Torah asher sam Moshe
Lifnei b'nei Yisrael al pi Adonai v'yad Moshe. And this is the Torah which Moses placed before the people of Israel, as God commanded.
You may be seated.
The Haftarah is a selection from the prophetic writings, which the rabbis of ancient times chose to complement each week's Torah portion. The blessings for the Haftarah are on page 372. Normally, the Haftarah serves as a commentary on the Torah portion. However, in these weeks leading up to Rosh Hashanah, to the start of the new year, the Haftarah takes on a different purpose. This time of year, it is our spiritual obligation to evaluate our lives, to see what we've done right, and to see where we've gone wrong. And if we take an honest accounting, we realize there are a number of places where we've gone wrong, and probably the same places we went wrong last year and promised that we'd change it then, and we didn't. And so we start to wonder, does God really want us to return? Are we good enough? Is God interested in us, or has God given up on us? And in this Haftarah, we have a nechama, a consolation, a cry from Isaiah saying, yes, God is waiting for us. God is waiting for us to return. The portion begins, arise, shine, for your light has come. It is time for us to stand up, to reclaim the lives we choose to live,
and to return to the path that we so desperately want to follow. And so with this consolation, we prepare for the start of the new year.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'char b'yamim tovim, ratzah hanemarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'torah uv'Moshe abdo uv'omet v'sadik. Arise, shine, O Jerusalem, for your light has come. The glory of the Eternal is shining upon you. Though darkness may cover the earth, thick darkness, the peoples upon you, the Eternal will shine. Over you, God's presence will appear. Nations shall walk towards your light, and kings towards your sunshine. Raise your eyes and see. They are gathering, all of them. They are coming to you. Your sons shall come from afar, your daughters born securely. You shall see it and beam with joy. Your heart will thrill with pride. The sea's abundance shall shower you. The wealth of nations shall come your way. A horde of camels shall cover your land, the young camels of Midian and Ephah, all coming from Sheba, bearing gold and frankincense, proclaiming the praises of God. The flock of Kedar shall be gathered to you. The rams of Nebaioth shall serve your need, a sacrifice welcome on my altar, adding glory to my glorious home. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, sor hol ha'olamim tzadik b'chol hadarot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'iseh amdaber kayem shechol devaran emet v'sadik. For the Torah, for the privilege of worship, for the prophets, and for the Shabbat that you, Adonai our God, have given to us, for holiness and rest, for honor and glory, we thank and bless you. May your name be blessed forever by every living being. Praise to you, Adonai, for the Sabbath and its holiness.
Amen. At the beginning of 7th grade, Lauren and her classmates created a blessing for each other. A blessing for them to say for each other on the day that they came to the Torah. So today I asked the members of her class to rise and to share their blessing with Lauren. Page 374, please rise if you're able.
יהללו את שם אדוני, כי נשגב שמו לבדו, הודו על ארץ ושמיים, וירם קרן ליבו, תהילה לכל חסידיו, לבני ישראל עם קרובו. Hallelujah, hallelujah,
Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, our God and God of our parents, grandparents, and ancestors, we thank you for this day and for the years of growth and learning that led to it. Now, as Lauren becomes bat mitzvah, responsible for your commandments, we rejoice with her and with her family. Dear God, help us all to become worthy examples for our children. Let nothing separate us from them, and let nothing separate us from you, the source of all goodness and love. Help us again and again to renew our commitment to the covenant of Israel, to walk hand in hand with our children and with our parents in the ways of righteousness and truth. We pray that the memory of this service will long inspire this young Jew. May it teach her that today is only the beginning of a life dedicated to study, to mitzvot, to deeds of justice and kindness and love. We ask your blessing upon Lauren in the ancient words of our people. May God bless you and protect you. May the light of God's face shine on you, and may God be good to you. May God's face be lifted up on you. May God always watch over you, and may God bless you with peace. Please be seated.
Many speeches have started with Webster's dictionary defines X word as. Why should I start any differently? Different. Webster's dictionary defines different as partly or totally unlike in nature, form, or quality. Personally, I don't know how I feel about that definition, especially the quality portion. The quality of people is an idea to keep in the back of your mind for later. Throughout the TRT building and in the head of almost every student that came through TRT are the 10 Commandments. They set the tone for how a Jew should act. Of course, there are 613 commandments total. You've got rules. At this point, you need consequences. Kitavo tells of these punishments, and I've got to say, they're pretty brutal. There's this raw element to it, which really brings out God's power. Everything God has taught is beautiful, actions even prettier, especially the bad ones. Society has managed to contort their minds to believe that to have light, we need darkness. If this is true, this piece, and most of this section of Deuteronomy, is that darkness which then makes the light that much stronger. Even after so many years of the Torah being written, it still manages to be relatable. After I had chosen this section of the Torah, I looked into its history and fell in love with it a little more. Because of all the negativity surrounding the chapter, no one wanted the aliyah in which this passage is read. Because they ignored this rather grim part of the Torah, people started to see God only as a giver. God gave them food, water, a family. The Israelites, including Moses, became complacent and didn't think about their consequences. Kitavo's role in the Torah is exactly that, to remind the Israelites that there are consequences for not acting the way God has requested, and that one person's actions affect the whole community. You don't fully understand punishment until you see it. Words can easily be forgotten. Memories, not so much. Therefore, as a community, they wrote this section of the Torah to essentially scare people. A whole society managed to push it aside because it wasn't a tale of perfection or how God is a supreme ruler who is always looking out for us. It's different, and not many people want different. Which transgressions warrant consequences and which do not? Ki tavo is all about consequences. This is an important question for Jews and society as a whole. This goes beyond right and wrong. It is about the soul and spirit of humankind. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It comes back to respect for the people around you, even if they are different. I personally think God values different. Maybe this is one of those challenges God has given us to help us find the light. I'm not going to lie, I chose my Torah portion not because it was different in its message, but because I loved the imagery it was written with. People found a way to take what God had told them, and despite the drastic difference in connotation, made it beautiful. Everything God makes and does is beautiful. How timeless this piece is really blows me away. Torah and Temple have always kind of had that effect. I am trying to avoid making a political statement, but by just simply pulling from current events and the news, you see it takes many battles to ultimately win the war of equality, and equality by its very nature is accepting those who are different. America is just starting to learn they need different. Headlines tend to focus on three main topics: LGBTQ rights, women's rights, and immigration. Personally, only one is relatable, which would be the obvious women's rights. People have gotten into the mindset that only the topic that applies to them is worth concern. Not all three apply to me, but that doesn't stop me from finding them fascinating. Hopefully, for the next few minutes, as you learn about them, you feel the same. 94 years ago, in 1924, was when the first documented gay rights organization was founded by Henry Gerber in Chicago. 94 years ago. Haven't decided if it's a good or bad thing that the fight for gay rights started less than a century ago. On one hand, it sends a poor message about society. Statistically, there had to have been people who fell into the category of LGBTQ before 1924, but to be different was to be an outlaw. People who didn't fit into the standard average Joe lifestyle of a spouse of the opposite gender, kids, a nice suburban home, and no worries were then of a lesser quality. People, all created by one God, but some are better. On the other hand, it's hard to write off the gay rights movement as history. No one can even say that was like a century ago, because it wasn't. It's a part of the here and now. Hard to ignore something that's right in your face. Massachusetts was the first state to legalize same-sex marriage in 2004. To get one state to legalize same-sex marriage took 80 years. To get the other 49 to legalize it took 11. The Torah has clearly said that you are not allowed to marry someone of the same gender. Yet, here we are in the 21st century, defying Torah and accepting people regardless of who they love. The Torah also states women are property. My Torah portion clearly says, if you pay the bride price, another man shall enjoy her. Didn't hear how she felt. At a certain point, women were no longer technically property, but were essentially viewed as maids to their husbands and children. That was until the mid-1800s when women realized they had the potential to be a person with goals and thoughts outside their home life. Some women devoted their lives to writing, marching, and protesting so that it wasn't a man's world, it was a livable world. Yet, women are still belittled for their gender. It's simply a known fact that women make less money than men doing the same job. In America today, over 40% of families have women as their sole providers. There are families out there who need those extra 10 cents per hour to survive, but society won't give it to them. Think about it this way. If people hadn't been fighting for the world to see the value of women, I wouldn't be standing on this bima. Even when my dad made his bar mitzvah, bat mitzvahs were not a common thing. People believed women didn't deserve a spot on the bima. We certainly proved them wrong. Probably the most prevalent topic in the news lately is the deportation of thousands of people and splitting children from their parents whilst in the process. The moral debate of whether or not they deserve to stay in the United States because they came here illegally is a separate topic. In my opinion, which I can't stress enough, this is my opinion, there should be a consequence for governments who violate the laws of common decency by separating children from their parents, but there should not be a consequence for wanting a better life for you and your children. If you look around this room, all of our families were immigrants at one time or another. I can't say if they came here legally or not, but I can say we are all living some amazing lives, which means our ancestors achieved their goals of a better life for their families. My family has been a part of TRT since my sister Jillian was a couple months old. My first memory is me running down the hall all nervous. At this point, I was attending Hebrew school once a month as offered, but I watched my sister go to Hebrew school every week, and that's what I wanted. I loved being in the building that much. Rabbi Stern was the principal then, and with my mom behind me, I peered up at her smiling face. You can tell just how long ago this was because I had to bend my head back to see her face. My mom and I both agree that we would never forget the look on Rabbi Stern's face when I asked if I could come to Hebrew school every week. This was not a typical request, but she was so elated to see a little girl so invested in Judaism. Since then, there have been countless Purim carnivals, Yom Kippurs, and Rosh Shabbats, ones that I would never trade for anything in the world. Reform Judaism is not something that picks and chooses. It accepts all. And without it, I don't know if I could say I'd be able to accept myself. People never realize how much of an impact being Jewish has on me. Not many people choose to continue their Jewish education beyond standing on the spima as a bar or bat mitzvah. TRT has made it so I can not only continue my journey through Jewish life, but I can be inside the building I once begged to come to. I can't imagine not going to Hebrew High and learning from the man who's practically known me since I was fetus. For those of you who know me really well, you know I've known what I've wanted to do with my life since the 3rd grade. I want to be a patent attorney. According to my calculations, and based on which college programs I'm interested, college will take me about 8 years. 5 years at a co-op program where I can study engineering. But whichever college offers that must also be close enough to law school, a good law school at that. That way, if I were to get a job at one of the places where I would be training and studying, I could work and put myself through law school, which is another 3 years. From there, I must pass the bar exam in New York, New Jersey, Delaware, and Pennsylvania. Of course, only about 50% of those who take the bar pass, so I should probably build in time for that. Sounds like life will keep me pretty busy, but not too busy for Judaism. Ideally, I would like to find a congregation just like this one that I could feel at home at. Sit in services on Friday night, knowing very well I should be home doing homework or prepping for a case. I can see a future me singing along to the songs I've known since I was a young child, surrounded by those who love and appreciate God. That is one feeling I will fight to never lose. As the song goes, wherever you go, there's always someone Jewish. You're never alone when you say you're Jew, so when you're not home and you're somewhere kind of newish, don't look far, because odds are that they're Jewish too. I could never be here without the support of my parents and sisters, Rabbi Weber, who continues to teach me, Cantor Alexander, Mrs. Butel, and Brian Burstein, who have prepared me to stand up here today. It may not seem like it, because I don't go around threatening to inflict eternal pain. Well, at least not anymore. But my Torah portion and I fit together almost like 2 oddly shaped puzzle pieces. On that note, Shabbat Shalom.
I'm so proud of you. Couple days ago, you didn't know if you could do it. I knew you could, and I knew that what was going on then was the part that I loved about the way you approached this, which is that it really mattered to you. So last week probably bothered you more than it did me. But Lord, look, thank you for leading us in prayer, but thank you for taking the opportunity to teach us, to give us things to think about when we leave here. And heading into the new year, I really want to just bottle that and give it as a high holiday sermon, because it was that powerful. You made this statement that our actions have consequences. And you're right, we tend to have this idea of, when you transfer a mitzvah as a good deed, you get a totally wrong understanding of what's going on. Because we can choose to do a good deed. I did a good deed yesterday, I don't need to do a good deed today, or maybe I'll do a good deed tomorrow. When we understand that mitzvot are commandments, they're orders, and that there are consequences, then we start to understand this differently, and it's not quite so touchy-feely. It's more like, no, there are things you have to do. But I'd like to do something with you now, which is I want you to focus on the consequences to doing things right. Because your portion talked all about what happens when you do things wrong. You, personally, become an example. You become the living embodiment of Torah when you do what you did today. Because you took the idea that we need to treat others well because we were the other. Torah says over and over, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. We've been there. We've been the outsider. We've been the immigrant. We've been the other. We've been the one that was not allowed in. We've been the one that was punished for being who we were. We're the one who was never given credit because of who we were. And that was Jews, male and female. And you took that in and you applied it to people whose sexual orientation doesn't match the plain vanilla one that we were told is the only way people can be. And by the way, people have never, ever, always been that way. We know this going back to the Torah, that people were not always one way. It's not true. They have been different. Seeing you stand here and give the sermon and thinking how recently it was that even we Reformed Jews said that women had a place on the bima. is like, I want to go back to the people who made those statements and go, hey, everybody, look at her. See what you did by making this happen. Because there were consequences to them saying that we can learn from a woman. Wow, what an idea. That a woman can take her place on the bima, can lead a congregation, can read Torah, can teach Torah. Look at the consequences of their actions. The consequence of their actions is you. And yes, when we talk about immigration, which is such a painful subject in our world, the idea that we would fault people for wanting what we or our parents or our grandparents wanted seems very difficult to understand, for we were strangers in the land of Egypt. But you understand that. And what you taught today shows us the consequences of doing things right. And I hope you keep that in mind. You're not perfect. You've got your things. You still need Yom Kippur too, right? But I want you to look at the consequences of what you've done. And yes, your decision that you want to continue studying has consequences also. It does, because you're going to come into a program where we're going to have a lot of time of arguing and discussing things, and I have a feeling you're not going to be shy, because you never have been. And I love that, and I'm so happy that you came here literally at birth. A little weird, your description of how long I've known you, but okay, like I've known you a long time. I've known you your whole life. But that you see this, as your mom said, and as I said before, as something that you're just starting on a new phase is fantastic. I'm so happy to hear you say that. You said that people have no idea what an effect Reform Judaism has had on you. It's clearly true. Now I want you to think about what an effect you have had on us, because you have been not just an extraordinary student, but you have become an extraordinary teacher. Mazel tov to you. I'm so proud. It is my honor to give you your bat mitzvah certificate, which I hope will remind you of what you taught, and it says ki tavo when you come into the land. And on behalf of the whole Reform movement, it's also my honor to give you a gift certificate toward a trip to Israel when you're in high school, because there's so much more to learn. Our ancestors were almost to the land. You can still get there before they did. So I give it to you with my congratulations to you and mazel tov to your family. It's now my honor to introduce Tamima Grinvald, Vice President of our congregation, to make a presentation on behalf of our congregation.
Shabbat Shalom. Mazel Tov, Lauren. Thank you for leading our congregation in prayer today. It's so honor for me to represent our temple at this very special day for you and for your family. Today I share your family's pride and joy as you become a bat mitzvah. You've worked hard, and I congratulate you on your accomplishment. You did so wonderful. You really taught us today some wonderful, wonderful teachings and lessons that it was wonderful to actually get to know you a little bit better through those teachings. To commemorate this day, the Board of Directors would like to present you with a copy of text messages, a Torah commentary for teens, and from the Men's Club and Sisterhood, your very own Kiddush Cup, which I know you're going to be using, as you were saying. You are looking forward to continue with the heritage, and this will serve you as well in all you're doing. I would like to congratulate Andrea, Michael, Jillian, and Rebecca. Mazel tov to all your family and your friends who are here to celebrate with you today. Thank you to the Seltzer family for sponsoring the honor. In honor of this simcha, everybody's invited to come to the honoring room afterward and enjoy. Thank you to our congregants who served as ushers today. And thank you all. And Shabbat Shalom.
I look back just a couple years ago when you were part of my junior choir, and we were a very small group, and every once in a while we would sing separate parts, or even somebody would have a solo. And you never quite wanted to step forward and sing a solo, though sometimes you had a little forced because your partner would not come to the concert on any given day, because when there's only 5 people, that happens sometimes. And here you are today, leading the whole congregation so beautifully and so confidently and so nice. I also remember just a few weeks ago, you knew some prayers and you were letting your brain get in the way of being able to do them. And I told you some pretty crazy things, and I don't know if you actually went and practiced the Ve'ahavta while dribbling basketball or standing on your head, but you said you would try it. And I don't know, but today you did it flawlessly. So whatever you did worked. Thank you very much for trying. Your mom spoke about your comfort here, and you spoke about wanting to be sure that wherever you went to school in the future would be close to a place that you could come to services and celebrate Shabbat and have that relaxed feeling. And I hope that you know, even if you're thinking about the homework that you're supposed to be doing, if you get in the habit of doing it, you will find that you are more prepared and have a better chance of doing all the work you have to do by having taken that time, that hour, that day of Shabbat for yourself, for relaxation, for connection, so that will actually give you more time, even though you're not doing work on that during that time. And my blessing for you is called Holy One, and it just says that I hope that you will feel God's presence with you. So that feeling you currently have when you walk into this building, when we sing, Let There Be Love and Understanding, that will go with you wherever you are in the moments that you need it most, whether it's the hallways of a middle school and a high school, or before a competition or a basketball game, or whether it's before you sit to take the bar, that you will feel that calm, that connection, and that presence of God guiding you and helping you on your way. Holy One, please bless us, always be near, watching wherever we go. Shine down your kindness, show us the way through every path unknown. Guide us with your strength, keep us in your shelter, fill us with the gift of shalom. Yevarechecha Adonai Ve'yishmerecha. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. Ve'yas Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom. Guide us with your strength, keep us in your shelter, fill us with the gift of shalom. Fill us with your precious gift of shalom.
We continue in the middle of page 586. Please rise if you are able and you don't have a sleeping child on your shoulder.
ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל העולם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 588. Shehunot Hashemayim ve'yosed aretz, u'moshav yikarov Hashemayim mima'al, u'shrinat uzo v'gov hemeromim. Hu Eloheinu ein od, emet malkeinu efes ulato, kakatu b'torato, v'yadata hayom, v'hashivota el levavecha, ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim, v'shamayim mima'al, v'yal ha'aretz mitachat, ein od. Page 591, please be seated.
ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Kaddish is on page 598. Those we remember this week, those who died recently, and those whose yahrzeits occurred this week are listed on the announcement sheet that you received when you entered. In addition, we remember those who, though they are not here physically, are very much part of this service and very much part of our celebration. We remember Mary Ann and Joseph Phelan, Iola and Pellegrino Just, Dora and Raphael Serebrennik, Shiva and David Zeltzer, Lev Trubnik, and Fanny Capellius. We thank God for the gift of their lives, and we praise God for the blessing of their memory. And so, in their memory, and in honor of God, their Creator, we rise together for Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, V'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, V'chayechon u'v'yomechon, U'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach la'alam u'l'almei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shmei kudsha b'richu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma, v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel and to all the world, to which we say, Amen.
Aseh shalom b'mromav, v'yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel.
Please turn to page 604. As we join together in Kiddush for Shabbat morning and thank God for all the blessings that we enjoy right now on this day, I invite the following people to come join us right in front of the bima: Lauren, Mike, Andrea, Jillian, and Rebecca, Louis Just, Dana Just, Shendel Zeltzer, Alex Zeltzer, Clara Bondar, and Raya Drazen.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת
Our concluding song, In Elohenu, is on page 626. Following the benediction, we ask you please to remain at your seats just long enough for those of us in the front to make our way out of the room. Then, as you follow us out, we'd appreciate your bringing the Sidurim, the prayer books, returning them to the ushers at the door. You are all invited down to the other end of this building to join us for an Omer Shabbat. We hope that you will spend a little time before you head off on your way. Page 626.
Ein Eloheinu, Ein Adonenu, Ein Eloheinu, Ein Moshiachenu, Mir Eloheinu, Mir Adonenu, Mir Eloheinu, Mir Moshiachenu, Adel Eloheinu, Adel Adonenu, Adel Eloheinu, Adel Moshiachenu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Avinu, Baruch Moshiachenu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshiachenu.
Eloheinu, Elohe Avotenu, Vimotenu, our God and God of all the generations past, we thank you for all your blessings on this Shabbat day. We thank you for the beautiful world in which we live. We thank you for your promise of creation being renewed in every season, in every year, and in every generation. We thank you for the promise of a bright future for our people as we watch our next generation stand so proudly and take its place in the chain of Jewish tradition. Dear God, with all these gifts that you have given us, we ask but one more of you on this day. We pray that you will bless us with the most precious of all your gifts. We pray that you will bless us with wholeness, with completeness, with peace, all of which is shalom. We pray that you bless us and all Israel and all the world with a day of Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.